live long and prosper.
Shalom. First of all, I'd like to start by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yarsharala, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the teachers, elders, and apostles of Great Mill, son, and likewise, brothers out there putting on this truth. Faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep, and to brothers and sisters tuning in. Shalom. You saw in that opening clip there the bullshit imagination of a wicked child, Esau, the Edomite, the so-called white man, in which they believe, or which they have actually propaganda spread across the earth that their first contact is going to be a benevolent being, that's going to come to them, shake their hands, and give them technology and cure all of their illnesses, and they're going to go on and live forever and ever and ever and ever and rule a galaxy hand in hand with these benevolent beings. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Now, the title of this lesson is Esau's first contact will be his last day of rulership. And who's going to be that first contact that Esau is going to have? As they like to propagate, across the media about alien contact, as you see going on in the news right now. It's going to be none other than Yahushua HaMashiach, the king, Al-Malak, who's going to be returning to bring this man down. Let's get into the truth here, brothers and sisters here. This is the book of Matthew 24, starting with verse 29. It reads, "Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds and from one end of heaven to the other." Yes. So what the earth, is going to be really getting is going to be who? Yahushua HaMashiach, Al-Malak, who's going to return in great splendor and glory, and so much power, that the nations, is going to be mourning. All 18 nations is going to be mourning, but what is he going to do? He's going to send out his angels across the four corners of the earth, to gather his elect. And who's his elect? His elect is the man that you see sighing and crying daily against this wicked place, the man that stand up boldly against this place, preaching the gospel, across the four corners of this earth, via the YouTube, via the other platforms, via, standing on the street corners, in great boldness, So when Yahushua Mashiach return, he's not going to be benevolent. He's going to be malevolent, He's going to be bringing in great destruction on Great Babylon, America. In particular, he's going to be bringing it on the so-called white man and his empire, which he has spread across this earth, Now, these people really believe, and if you talk to the Christians, which is made up of these Edomites, and the Jakes, them, they believe that their God, Jesus, who's going to be coming back, is going to love everybody. When we bringing out the truth, that who's returning, is returning, to fulfill prophecy, which is what? He's going to deliver the elect of Yarsharala, Israel, so-called Blacks and Americans and Latino, and Native Americans, This is the book of Romans 9 and 13. It says, 9 and starting verse 12, and it says, "It was said unto her," who? Rebecca, "the elder, who is Esau, shall serve the younger, who is Jacob," Yarsharala, so-called Blacks and Americans and Latinos. "As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated." Jacob represents the 12 tribe of Israel. Esau represents what? The tribe of Edom, the so-called white people who are in rulership right now. And they go under all these different names, these corporate names. But we know right now, the primary ruler, the shot callers, is Amalek. Those people, these people they call the so-called Jewish people, that owns everything on this earth. So the Lord has made it very clear, Esau, they hate you. So you people that walk around with your fantasies, thinking about, some benevolent God returning, that's going to save everybody, save the wicked, save the fags and all of that stuff. That could be further from the truth. You see, the Lord is not returning, for the sodomite, the thieves, the murderers, the liars, and the oppressors, No, he's not returning back. He's returning back for the elect, Let's go into the book of Revelations 11, down verse 12, and it reads, "And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither," and that's going to be in the ancient Paleo-Hebrew, "And they ascended to heaven in a cloud." Who ascended to heaven in a cloud? The elect of Yarsharala, also called Blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos. and their enemies beheld them. Who's our enemies? The two-third, okay, and also these other 17 nations, okay. So you have 17 and two-third nations, okay, who are enemies, okay. They're going to see, okay, the hopefully elect go into the air to go meet who? Yahushua and Mashiach. And it says, and the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake was slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were frightened and gave glory to the God of heaven. So yes, at the same time that the hopefully elect is beamed up, you are going to have boom, 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 tons and tons, okay, of nuclear bombs going off all across this earth, but especially here in Great Babylon, America, okay, seeing that is coming back to return, okay. So this first contact that Esau gets is going to be not a good thing for him, okay. It is going to be the end of his rulership here on this earth. Let's go into the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, start verse 1, because you see, Esau and these other 17 and two-third nations, okay, they will become witness, okay, to the works of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, to the works of Yahushua and Mashiach, okay, to see the results, okay, of being a faithful servant here on this earth in these last and wicked days, okay, which is where the so-called white man is prepared to do some evil that these people out here cannot even begin to comprehend. But who's going to be saved out of it? Okay, the elect is going to be saved out of it. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, and start verse 1. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him. Who's afflicted us? Okay, the so-called white man, okay, and all his other cohorts, all these other nations, but in particular, because our eyes are set against Mount Seir, okay, against Edom, okay, against Great Babylon, America, against the so-called white man, okay, you are the main afflictor, okay, the main oppressor of the tribe of Israel. It says, and made no account of his labors. Okay, they see us as a joke, but that's fine. When they see it, they should be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. Yes, okay. When they see the sign of the what they call the UFOs or whatever they call them now, unidentified flying object, okay, it's actually the chariots of the Lord that is coming back to do what? One, redemption, okay, for us, save us, and two, to destroy Great Babylon, America, and all of our enemies. And it says, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he? This was them niggas, spics, and Native Americans standing on the street corner, wasting time putting up those videos up on YouTube, going over and over and over and getting those strikes, okay, walking around with those garments on, showing these signs to people to let them know that the great destruction is going to be coming soon. This was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. You know, they're coming up to the camps and insulting the prophets. We fools accounted his life a madness and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of power, and his Lord is among the saints? That's because you weren't listening, okay? We go there on the highway in the Bible, we let you know who are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. It's not those Amalekites sitting over there in our land who are about to be destroyed by nuclear fire by the nations that are surrounding them. They live in constant fear. It's definitely not the doggone Edomites, these cave beasts, okay, who have a very short time to rule. And these other nations, okay, the Moabites, okay, they're described as what? The watchport of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So, okay, there's none of these other nations. There's only one nation, okay, that is of the elect, okay, the chosen, okay, and that is Yarsharala, us so-called blacks and Americans and Latinos. And it says, therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness had not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. Yeah, the angels made sure of it. Every time y'all stop by or y'all look or y'all honk your horn and just keep driving by thinking that we're going to just be out there on the highway and the byway forever entertaining you, okay, that was the angels actually making sure that you never get this truth. Because why? We're going to bring that out a little bit later. It says, we varied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, of course, you follow the ways of Great Babylon, America, the so-called white man has promised you. You doggone people, okay, you Edomites right now, okay, you're starting to see the fact that what? Okay, roughly paraphrasing, he is evil to himself, whom we will be good to. The doggone so-called white man don't give a crap about his own people. His own people are on the street and homeless. They're on drugs. The same drugs that he created to destroy Israel, okay, Yarsharala, also called blacks, Americans, and Latinos, is now destroying his people. But the Lord has made those drugs even stronger, okay, than the crack cocaine that our people was hooked on in the 80s and the 90s. And it says, ye, we have gone through deserts where they lay no way, but as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. What had pride profited us? It had profited you nothing. This is a prideful nation, okay? And especially you 2/3. Why are you pride? Why are you prideful? Okay, you listen to the lies of the so-called white man. The white man has even lied to his own people and to the rest of these nations on this earth. Okay? Or what good had riches without wanting bought us? It has bought you nothing. All those things are passed away like a shadow and as a post that hasted by. Yes, it is going to be passed away. Okay? Again, okay? The first contact, okay, of the so-called white man with what they consider to be an extraterrestrial being, okay, it's going to be his last day of rulership, okay, and that's none other than Yahushua Mashiach, okay, and the heavenly host, okay, which is those angels that's going to be following Yahushua, okay, to do what? Dismantle this wicked queendom known as Great Babylon, America on this earth before the whole world so they can see it, okay. Let's go into the book of Matthew's, starting with verse Matthew 10:34. It says, think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace but a sword, okay? And who loved the sword? Whose blessing was the sword? The so-called white man, okay? His blessing was a sword, okay? So how is it that his first contact is going to be met with what? The sword, okay? Let's go into the book of Isaiah, because we're going to see how the sword is going to play out here. This is the book of Isaiah 66 and verse 15. It says, for behold, the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. Oh, there's going to be so much killing. See, you people are looking up. You're thinking it's for you. You think first contact is going to be joyous. No, it's going to be terrible, terrible. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, plead with all flesh. And the slain of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, shall be many. Millions getting sliced and diced up into pieces. Cities destroyed. There's going to be nowhere to run. Imagine that. The real true war of the worlds, okay? So this first contact, Esau, this is what you wanted, right? You got it, okay? It's just going to be smoke, okay? And guess what? The elect haven't been beamed up, okay? Called up hither. It's going to have front row seat watching the great destruction unfold here on earth, in a particular Great Babylon, America. We're going to watch our prison be destroyed. Okay? Let's go into 1 Peter chapter 4 and starting verse 17. It says, for the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of power. Okay? So the 2/3 is going to go through Jacob's trouble. Okay? It's going to be unlike anything that any Hebrew Israelite has ever experienced throughout all of the reincarnation. And if it first began at us, what shall the end be at them that obey not the gospel of power? And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? So the righteous, the men that you see on the highway and the byway sighing and crying, the believers are scarcely going to be saved. This is how furiously angry, okay, Yahweh Shai Hamashiach is going to be. So angry that barely, this is the reason why we pray every day to him to not forget us in his anger. Because remember, think about a parent when the parent is hitting their child. You got to remember your child is a lot more fragile than you, so you cannot beat your child when you're angry. You must hold and restrain yourself. And so the Lord, Hamashiach, Yahushua Hamashiach, is going to restrain himself enough to gather the elect. That's the reason why he said, come up hither. He sent out his angels when he coming in great power. He sent his angel to go gather the elect out of the way, gather his chosen off the earth before he comes to rain terror on this place, so that the elect is not destroyed with these other people, in particular the Edomites, okay, the so-called white man. So you people looking up at the sky, you think it's a joke. You think that Jesus is coming back to save all of you. No. Let's close out with the book of Revelations 20 and 15. Because, as I said in 1 Peter 4 Starting verse 17 when it says, for the time has come that the judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it first began at us, what shall be of them that obey not the gospel of God? Which we know these Edomites don't. I opened up and I showed you what? They indulge in sodomy and all sort of wickedness. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? So there's no hope for you. This is not a contact that you people want, because here's going to be the end results. Revelations 20 and 15, it says, and whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. And what is the lake of fire? The lake of fire is Great Babylon, America. Okay? Which is going to be completely and utterly obliterated. And we are going to have front row seat watching the destruction of what was our prison, spiritually known as Sodom and Egypt. So there it is, Esau. Your first contact is going to be your last day as ruler on this earth. Lord willing, the hopefully elect was edified, and any of you doggone evil, wicked Edomites that showed up and watched this, I hope you were terrified. I'd like to close up by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakakadash. Double honor to the teachers, elders, and apostles of great Muslim, likewise brothers out there putting out this truth, faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep. And to you brothers and sisters tuning in, Shalom.